I guess I could come on the side of the table. I don't know. Okay, so today I have this awesome avocado from the Dominican Republic, So it's sweeter than the other avocado from the store. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make like this little spread, like maybe like a chicken salad spread or whatever you want to call it. But just I'm going to make this like little spread with this, and I'm going to make like a hemp seed mayonnaise to go with it. So what I have here is I have my different spices, I have my water, I have my burros because I'm going to make burro bread as well. So I have my super duper large avocado. I have a jalapeno that I cut in half, scooped out, and I have the pieces right here. I have my onions, I have a yellow onion, I have cucumber, I have a bitter melon that I am going to use, but I'm only going to use a little bit of the bitter melon. I'm going to put it in last because it has a lot of good properties, but it is bitter as hell. I'm sorry, it's bitter. It's very bitter. And I have my peppers, tomatoes, and that's it. So let's get started. Seasonings I'm using I have some basil here. I have dill, thyme, ginger, sea salt, onion powder, and some cayenne. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use, but we're just going to play this by ear. And we can't forget the sea moss. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to tackle this big old avocado. So let's see. Can you see? Okay. So we're going to tackle this big avocado. And it's just like the other avocado, hopefully. Well, I've done this before, but not with it being as hard. So this is a firm, large avocado. Just look at this seed in here. This is humongous. It looks like a monster. Oh my goodness. Get all that stuff out of there. So we're just going to get this. It's just like, I guess, the regular avocado, only bigger. And the remnants from the seed is in here, but I'll get it out. And we're going to stick this inside of the food processor. So I'm going to just chop just like this and then scoop it out. Like I said, this is a very firm one because I want it to have a certain consistency. So see if I can scoop it out. May have to just peel it. Yeah, I think I may have to just peel this. Find a different knife. So I'm going to just peel this. It may be easier because it is so hard to just peel it and then stick it inside the food processor. Because we're going to coarsely chop this. So I'm sticking the pieces inside the food processor. So by any means necessary, I guess. So let me go ahead and peel this and I'll be right back. So I have the avocado inside of the food processor. So I am going to coarsely chop it. Toss it a couple of times. I don't want to spread. I want it coarsely chopped. So that is done. Let me show you how I have it. Just like that, coarsely chopped. So now on to, I'll just leave that, I'm going to put that aside. But I'm going to use the smaller processor to process the onions, and I'm going to do this separately for a reason, because I don't know how much onions and hot peppers I want in here. So we'll just add that in, we'll just mix it together. It's sort of like if you were making like a chicken salad or something, and then you would like add your stuff like after you get your chicken. So this is like similar to that, only different, if that makes any sense. So I have some green pepper that I'm gonna put in here to go ahead and process that in here. Okay. So I gotta process the rest of it. So I'm gonna just go ahead and stick all this stuff in a bowl. The rest of the peppers and stuff. Like I said, I don't know how much I want. We'll see. Oh, I gotta chop that up a little. This was smaller. I don't know what I'm thinking of. Put the peppers in here. Got a little red pepper as well. I'm sticking there. So this is gonna be really good. So I got the onions in the bowl. Got the red pepper. Oh, I got a yellow pepper I'm going to use. Put a yellow pepper in there. Let's process this and I have some more peppers too. They're not the hot peppers, but you know. So I only did a half a jalapeno. I don't want it like super spicy or anything like that. I just want it, you know, just to have a little kick. And honestly, guys, I'm gonna tell you a little secret. This is my first time doing this. Well, I've messed with the big avocado before, and I've made a similar spread, but I'm just making this stuff up as I go along. And that's why I keep telling people, like, you don't have to be a master. You'll become a master chef in your own kitchen because you'll think like, well, I want this, and then you'll just like figure out how to do it. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just, you know, figuring it out as I go along. See what tastes, you know, what I like. I know what I like. So you just taste it as you go along. And naturally, you have to have guinea pigs. So this is very colorful. Get it that good, but oh well. Yeah, big chunks. I think I'm gonna put the rest of the pepper in there as well. We might as well, because you can always use this pepper mix for salsa and other, you know, dishes that you can use the pepper mix with. That's one of the reasons why I won't mix everything together, because you can always use this. But I think I'm gonna use a little bit of this mixture for my burro bread as well. So just add that in there. The rest of these peppers. Has an awesome color to it. So I used up all the peppers, and I am going to be brave. I'm not going to mix it in here, but I am going to take my bitter melon. See my bitter melon? And I'm just going to take a piece of it. So you open it up, you gut it. If I'm remembering right, you've got you kind of take everything out the inside, because we're just using the outside of the bitter melon. So it's like what I did with the pepper. So I'm gonna gut it, and I'm gonna stick it in here. And I am not gonna mix this with this pepper mix. I'm gonna put that aside. Because when I say it's bitter, it is bitter. So here's our peppers and onion mix that I'm just going to set aside. Like I said, you can use this for a variety of dishes. And I am going to take the bitter melon out and put that in a separate container, because when I say this stuff is bitter, it's bitter. And I'm being real brave by adding it to this, but like I said, I know it has a lot of benefits, and I'll have the benefits of the bitter melon at the end of the video. Sorry about all the noise. So I'm going to set that aside. So now we're going to work with the burros. I don't know if you know anything about burro bananas, but these, let me move the camera back over. This is the burro banana. Can you see it? When it turns yellow, you can use it like a regular banana, and this is the closest thing to an original banana, because I don't know, I had posted something before about where the banana has no nutritional value, the traditional banana, only because it's a hybrid, and bananas used to have really black seeds, like large black seeds in it, but they messed with the banana and started growing the banana without the seeds, because it was not appealing to the eye, of course, and who wants to eat a banana with a big black seed in it? So this is the burro. It's a cooking banana. So as you can see, I'm cutting it just like I would like a potato, because it's like I said, it's like a cooking banana. So I am going to make like burro bread to eat with my spread. And I'm going to put that in a little one too. So when you cut this burro in half, can you see the seeds? It has seeds in it. See? It has seeds. So we're just going to cut. I'm going to put this in here and chop it down. Because what I want to do, I'm going to make a bread, but it's going to be, I'm going to chop that. This isn't going to be coarsely chopped. This is going to be mushy. So I'm going to make, like I said, I'm going to make a bread. I'm going to dry it out in the oven. So like if you're eating more raw than cooked, this would be like a good bread to make, because if you have a dehydrator, you can even stick this in a dehydrator or stick it in the oven on low and just let it like dry out some, and it's not really cooked, like pulverized, cooked, all the nutrients out of it. It still gives you like that raw effect. So let's put that in there. Let's see what happens. So that's that. I'm going to add a little sea moss in there, just so I can get it to be really mushy. So like I said, I want this to be mushy, not I got the other banana to do too. Usually I do this in the bigger food processor, but I don't feel like cleaning it. So, as you can see, I'm going to take this off, if I can get it off. The consistency is mushy. It's got a few little chunks in there. I need to get it back in there. But you see, it's mushy, like banana mush. But it's not a banana. It's a cooking banana. It's not a real banana. So I'm going to take and put the banana mixture in here, because I got to do the other one. And I'm going to add the seasonings and stuff in it as well. So, put that back on there. Add this. Add some more sea moss. And you can add like a tablespoon or two. It depends. If you have the really thick sea moss, then you don't want to use as much. But if you have the thin sea moss, you can just kind of pour it in there. Okay. So this is going to be awesome. So I'm going to add the seasonings, like I said, after I mush this up. So that's our burro mush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some seasoning to it. And like I said, if you need to measure, that's fine. About a table, like a teaspoon or eighth a teaspoon. Depends if you want a spicy bread or not so spicy bread. Always, you know, be careful with the sea salt, of course. Like a tablespoon. And this is what happens when you don't get stuff anti-caking agent, which is okay because you don't want that anti-caking agent. So this is just sea salt in bulk that I buy. And I'm going to use a little onion powder. That was a lot. Sorry. So I'm going to stir this up. And I am going to add a little flour in here as well. And I'm also going to add some of the pepper mix. And this gives it an awesome color. And keeps it kind of moist because you don't want really dry bread either. And the best thing to have if you're going to like dry this out in the oven is some partition paper. Not the cheap wax paper, but the partition paper. You know what? I don't think I'm going to add any flour in this. I'm just going to cook it like this. Like I said, we're just making this up as I go. Let's see what happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little oil in the pan before I stick it in the oven just so it won't stick. And I'm going to heat that up on the stove top, get it hot, and then I'm going to spread out some of this bread in my cast iron skillet. Be right back. As you can see, I took the mixture and I spread it out onto a pan that's on top of the stove top still. So I'm going to stick this in the oven, and I turned the oven on really low, and I'm going to put it on the top shelf. So I just took my cast iron skillet, put some oil in it so to get hot so it won't stick. And then now I'm going to just stick that in the oven and let it cook. And I think I'm just going to sprinkle a little seasonings on top, like some little basil and onion and maybe some onion powder, just so it can have that little, I don't know, extra kick to it. So that's the burro bread. So I forgot about the cucumber, so I took a cucumber, chopped it up, and put it in here. So I'm going to stick this in with the pepper mix. So like I said, you can use this pepper mix for a lot of other things as well. So it's just vegetables. You can use this on a raw veggie wrap. You can just use it on a lot of stuff. So I'm just going to mix this up really well. Got some big chunks of cucumber I need to get. So let me see if I can get that mixed up. And use a spoon instead of a fork. Really. So we're going to get that mixed up. And you're going to stir it up real well, and then we're going to set it aside. And I forgot to get the key limes out as well, so I'll get those out. And that's to make the dressing that goes with this. So we're going to set that aside. This is coming along. And we'll add seasonings. Now it's time to assemble. So in case you don't know what a key lime is, a key lime is smaller than a lime and it has seeds. So I'm going to use juice. You see the seeds? Can you see the seeds in there? There's seeds in here. So I'm going to use the juice from the key lime for the sauce. So usually, this is my Vitamix. So usually I have thicker sea moss, but this is a thinner sea moss, so I'm going to just go ahead and pour some sea moss in there. So if you want your spread to be thick, use thick sea moss. So I'm going to use that. And I will say about a teaspoon of, a little more, a teaspoon of hemp seeds, and I didn't measure that. And I am going to use a piece of onion. I always use a piece of onion in all of my sauces because it gives it just a better flavor for me. So we're going to use a little piece of onion. So put that in there. Some juice from the key lime. And if you got a little thing to squeeze it, it's always better than trying to squeeze some juice out of a little bitty key lime. Put some juice in here. You do juice from both of the key limes. If I can get the juice out. We're going to make life simple. I need to get a new one. And that's all. This is the juice from the key lime. I usually don't put a lot of my seasonings in until afterwards, but I put a little sea salt. I always use a lot of onion powder, and then I'm going to use a little ginger. And I'm going to put some dill in there, but afterwards. So, add a little water. And it depends on how, like I said, how thin your sea moss gel is. If you have really thick sea moss gel and you don't use a lot of water, a lot of fluids, when it cools down or you put it in the refrigerator to let it sit, it's going to be like a spread. It's going to be thick. This is going to be a little thinner, which is okay because we're going to mix it inside of our spread. So, sorry, noise. We're just going to let that mix up real good. So as you can see, this is white. So I'm just going to stick it in here, and it's creamy. And you can taste it to see, you know. Oh, I forgot to add some other stuff. I'm sorry. Okay, so I was going to add some dill to this as well to give it like sort of like a ranch type of feel to it. So you can just stir that up. I think I'm going to put this in a bigger container only because I need to stir it. So just add some. I usually have fresh dill, which I love to use anytime possible. I use fresh herbs. So I add a little dill in there, and you can taste it as long as you go along. Like I said, this is just for you, so you can taste it. It needs something. I think it had a little too much onion in there, so we're going to add a little more onion powder. Well, that didn't make any sense. Too much onion, so I'm going to add some more onion powder. Okay. And just taste it as you go along. I think I'm going to add a little basil in here. And it just depends on your taste buds. What is it you want to taste? You know, how do you want it to taste? So I think we have it. A pinch of salt. And for me, I think this is going to be it. I like it. So now it's time to assemble. So what I'm going to do, is I'm going to take some of the avocado and put it in a bowl. Put it in this bowl. Take the avocado, like I said, put some in here. And then I'm going to take the mixture, the pepper mixture, and I'm going to add that to the avocado. You can put as little or as much as you want. And I'm going to stir this up real well. And then I am going to add some seasonings, a little thyme, just a little bit. Because the key to really cooking is vegan is to really make sure your food is seasoned well. And remember we talked about the bitters. I'm just going to add just a smidget of bitters. I may need to add more, but we'll see what happens, because I'm telling you, when I bite into that, it's going to be bitter. So I'm just going to mix that all up. And then I'm going to add my sauce and mix it up. Can you see? So this is like a spread. So I'm just going to let this sit in the refrigerator and chill. And then if you want to make more spread, you can later, but you don't want to mix everything up because you may want to do other things with your avocado. Now I'm making a mess. So I'm going to just let this sit in the refrigerator. I'm going to add a little bit more dill just because I wanted to. That was a lot. I played too much. A little more dill in here. So I wanted to have a certain flavor to it. And this is just a spread. Like, this is just beautiful. The color is beautiful. And once I make the sandwich, the bread is in the oven. I will show you the rest.